Yeah. What as in my ears? Or?
Yeah, in your ears.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah. Right, what do you want to do, mate? It's
Well, I'll just
episode number 1.
welcome the Wolf Supps
That's it.
podcast.
Wolf Supps massive.
Yeah, at the Wakefield Podcast Studios. Shout out.
Let's go.
New little business that me and Tom are starting. We're both into our media, I suppose, and this kind of stuff.
Comment.
So I feel like we're not like the most technical guys, but
no,
we've got an eye for
getting there.
Yeah.
Trying anyway. You've got to learn, haven't you, mate? You can't just acquire all the knowledge instantaneously. Otherwise, it'd be too easy, wouldn't it?
That's it, man. And this, like, being our first podcast, we weren't going to do this today. We just thought we'll go off on a limb, do it, get a bit of experience, so we know what problems we're going to have to deal with. And one big problem is probably the wire situation in here, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, obviously you won't be able to see behind the scenes because we've set it up impeccably so that you can't see too many wires, but under this table and dotted around, it's like a trip hazard central, man. Health and safety would have an absolute field day in this room today.
Absolutely, mate. And we've no I don't know, we're not electricians. We literally, to get rid of the wires, the last solution we came up with, we'll buy some wire cutters. That is kind of how far
chop it down. But it's good to see the room actually starting to feel and look like how we want it to be, or at least get in there.
Well, I feel like it's dark. We've got the nice lights. It's what we envisioned. I mean, the carpet going down were a biggie. So
massive, man.
I feel like when we get some guests in here, some
grippers,
some big bodybuilders, man. I feel like it could be a successful podcast, maybe.
I think with the kind of following and client base that has evolved around Wolf Supps, I think that you'll definitely be able to attract some good, knowledgeable guests on for the world of fitness, at least. Like, if not, more broader spectrum, like general, I don't know, health and well-being. Like,
well, that's it. Especially,
sky's the limit.
Yeah, 2022. It's where it's at the minute, and health and fitness.
Exactly.
Supplements, everyone's taking them. So
why we're here, mate.
Yeah, we could get. I mean, there's some potential guests in mind. Some good guests. So
if I reckon it's a good opportunity for people who want to be on it, or people who think somebody in particular might be a good guest. Drop it in the comments.
Definitely.
Let us know what you think.
We want to get, obviously, the biggest guest we can on. Obviously, we might not attract that at the minute, us two Muppets. But if we could get
the setup right.
Man, exactly.
I'm just trying to think how it's going to work with like 4 people in here, but we'll get
a bigger table.
Yeah, we'll get a bigger table and we'll get shit sorted with like.
When Ronnie Coleman's in here, mate, we're going to get a massive table. Lightweight. You never know, man. Bit of
Ronnie, mate. I'd love to chat to Ronnie.
All the way through. He's funny, isn't he?
That guy, man. I don't even like. I feel like for some reason, when I was in like year 7, year 8, I just kind of got my Facebook account, like just started. Socially active. I went on Facebook and stumbled across all these bodybuilders, like. Ronnie Coleman, Kai Green, Jay Cutler, thingy. Oh my God, Dorian Yates. I was looking at all these guys when I was like 13 years old, thinking, how the hell is that even possible? And for some, I suppose that's like, if I think back, that's probably my earliest memories of being interested in.
Probably so.
Weightlifting to that extent, and then.
There's a lot more out on the internet now. I feel like when we were 13, 14, like what, 7, it's like 8 years ago now, 8, 9 years ago.
What even? That's so weird, bro.
Let's not say that anymore.
That's actually weird.
I feel like when you go back to them days, like there wasn't as much, so them guys were the guys that you were looking at.
Yeah.
And whereas now you look on the internet, you can find there's guys like us.
People around every corner. Obviously, it's an exciting space because it's evolving all the time, and obviously the the rise of online coaching and all that stuff, and the evolution of supplements and new things coming into the market all the time. Like,
there's an opportunity for young people to do what they want as well. Like, if you have a dream to go down this route, this industry, like, there's a lot of outlets you can do that.
Like the freedom that you can work around,
Definitely.
like a career in fitness.
It's not just PT and like it was back in the day. Like, if you thought you want to go into fitness, I'm going to be a PT. That's kind of the way it was. Whereas now, obviously, there's supplements, clothing. It's quite easy to get into clothing if you wanted to.
You're the man to explain that.
The supplement guy, but not
the supplement guy.
I feel like clothing for me would be difficult. I always, I don't know. I always find it hard to get good samples of clothing, and I don't really enjoy it. So I suppose that's an aspect.
Yeah, well, it's obviously something that can be worked on in due course, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
But on that note, like, tell me about how you first started looking into supplements and just general.
So
shit.
obviously,
I've asked you briefly before, but we've never really like gone too deep into it.
So obviously,
like
working in a supplement store, you see all the products.
When did you start working?
17 years old, so 6 years ago. Right. Just really into the gym, probably more so than I am now. Obviously, like you say, seeing all the guys online.
You
kind of you have a dream, so you want to go into this industry. But for me, I never wanted to be a coach. I tried doing some coaching, some online plans, one-to-ones, and I just didn't enjoy it.
How did you meet those clients? Was that just through the shop, or was it
through Instagram mainly? And it were kind of people that I knew. Like, I won't get in randomers. People that I knew that were
like going to the people who were going to the gym anyway, or were you just
not necessarily? No,
like
people,
family friends, or what?
Family friends, people that weren't into the gym, but they knew that I kind of knew my stuff. But so I started doing that, and the clients, I mean, there were a couple that were good, and a few that just put me off it for life, like not sticking to the stuff. And I feel like I didn't have the way that some PTs do, where I could get to stick to the plan. I feel like so you
deviating. Rather than you saying it's their fault, you think it was your fault.
I think it might have been, because I had the if it fits your macros approach, like that were big round then. So count your calories, your protein, carbs, fats.
Yeah.
I don't think I communicated it in a way that made sense to them. So they were why can I go home and eat Pop-Tarts and then still lose weight? Like, I don't think I communicated it properly. So I feel like the doubt was probably there.
Right, I see what you're saying.
So obviously, like I just scrapped that in. I thought, nah, I'm not doing that. And then I started working on my supplement logo, because I had a dream of creating Wolf Supplements. It was always going to be Wolf Supplements.
It was always. Right, that's sick.
And my first logo.
That was from like the age of 17
then? 18, 19.
Right,
probably.
Okay. So you'd had like a year or so kind of just getting familiarised with the world of supplements, working in the shop.
Definitely.
Had you already done like research into?
Yeah, I was like dreaming. I was in dreamland, to be fair. Like, I wasn't really taking action. I made my first logo probably 3 years ago. So I could probably dig it up on my laptop.
Yeah. That's pretty sick, man, because people might see what has been achieved by Wolf Supplements in the short space of time that it's actually been running, operating. But, behind the scenes, you were grafting on that for
a long
years
time
before,
so I made a logo. I think I saved it to my computer, took some pictures of it, put it on my stories, like, I can't wait to start this supplement brand. And then it would just kind of sat there on the computer. I'd open it up every now and then and be like, that logo looks pretty sick. It wasn't as good as the logo now, but it was still a pretty cool logo.
That's sweet.
I remember it being...
I'm going to have to see it.
I'll show you it, man.
Yeah, we'll dig it up. We'll have to see it.
It's cool. It's nice just to look back and think...
See where you've come.
It's been a dream for a while. And it was one of my mates actually on holiday the other day. He said, I remember you sending me a picture of the logo years ago, and he was like, I don't know if he's ever going to actually do this.
Yeah, and here we are.
Yeah, I woke up one day and I was like, enough's enough. Start taking some steps.
Start taking some action. That's it, man. If you don't take action, then that people think about doing shit on a laptop, and it's like more important than if you were to do it, I don't know, like writing a note on a piece of paper. But if you make a logo for something you're passionate about and stash it in a file on your laptop, never to see the light of day again, it's never to see the light of day again, that file's always it's gonna be getting dusted, you know what I mean? Like the same way that something would physically, if you were to, I don't know, sketch a logo on a piece of paper,
100%,
put it away, like, doesn't mean just because you've got it there that you're doing something. You've actually got to take the action from that point to make it into something.
And I feel like the steps that will get you the furthest and get you into like the stride of business, get the wheels rolling, are always gonna have some barriers. It's not gonna be an easy step.
Otherwise, everybody would do it.
Yeah, it's always gonna be a difficult step. Either it's gonna be difficult financially, or it's gonna be hard work. It's probably gonna take some hours. So
yeah, well, we've had this conversation recently, haven't we? Like talking about, obviously you've jumped through the hoops in terms of laying your neck on the line financially for the product, you know, buying the initial orders and whatnot. And it's that cliche of to be an entrepreneur, you have to take risks. Yeah. And that's something that, like,
there's no
reward, you can't risk. Yeah, you can't avoid it. And it's something that, you know, for myself, like coming into, I don't know, manifesting my ideas into an actual tangible business, if you like, something that I'm familiarizing myself with more so as time goes on. And it's like,
you've obviously had the experience. If you didn't know, Tom has his own YouTube channel, mindsetMETA, where you guys it's kind of like a lifestyle health. Yeah,
it's evolved slightly, like, over the couple of years that we've been doing it.
And just like you and Ryan, is it just primarily you and
Ryan?
Yeah,
it's just us two who, well, originally there were 5 of us, but after the first month, that number dwindled down to 2. So
you didn't see like the million subs and the Dubai yachts and shit.
That's it. But I've obviously learned a lot about. I mean, still had to outlay some financial risk to do that and to get the equipment to film and whatnot, but it's never been huge substantial amounts of money that are going to really make a massive difference. But even so, like, I suppose that's good advice for people. Like, you can take those shorter steps rather than,
of course,
you know, jumping in at the deep end straight away.
If you look at it like life comes full circle, we probably wouldn't be sat here now if you hadn't done mindsetMETA, potentially.
But I doubt it, you know, really. Yeah. I would have always supported what you were doing.
100%, yeah.
Because, you know, like, I guess out of admiration more than anything at the time, I was like, oh, fuck it, I'd love to see somebody I know doing something out there and obviously because being mates with Matty, like, it's, like, I feel,
I just feel like it's, I suppose, brought us together because, like, I'd be watching your videos religiously, commenting, like, we'd be talking over. Yeah. I'd never talk to you if it weren't for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I never spoke to you in school. So
that's it. I was thinking that the other day, like, we probably never spoke in school.
I don't think,
like, at all. Maybe
I'd have said all right to you if I saw you out.
Yeah, but never anything more than that. But anyway, we are doing a podcast together. Like, it's funny how shit happens.
It's definitely like you've got to put yourself out there no matter what you're doing. If you want to live an ordinary life and just be have a boring life, then don't do anything extraordinary. No. But if you want to, I don't know. It's obviously been short term for us. We haven't been doing it for ages. But imagine this in 5 years. Like, you keep taking these little steps, even setting up this little room. Like, you never know where it could go.
I had this conversation with my brother on the phone last night. Actually, he'd been out and he was pissed up, like, quite heavily and he called me. I was watching Stranger Things because I've never watched it, and new series has come out, and I was like, might see what this is about. Anyway, I ended up being on the phone to him for an hour and 40 minutes.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, dealing with his drunk ass on the phone.
How old is your brother?
He's 30.
All right.
So there's quite an age difference between me and my brother, like 8 years difference. But he was preaching this idea to me. I'm not going to like fully lay it out, but one of the principles behind it was, if you have 100 videos on YouTube that all have 50 views, that's 5,000 views that you've had in total.
Yeah,
that's like a stock, you know, like essentially it's like a portfolio that you're building, and doesn't matter if you're only getting 50 views a video, that will compound over time. And you know, the more consistent you are, the more consistent your view levels are. That's what's going to lead to that organic type of growth. And
well, that's it. It's like investing in the stock market. Like if you invest in boring, like I say boring, 8%, you're looking for 8% a year. Like you might think, the normal guy might think, well, that's crap. Why would I put my money in? Why would I put my 100 quid in to get another 8 quid?
Yeah.
What's the point? But then you do that every month. You do that every year. When you're 20 years down the line,
that 100 quid turns into 20 grand, and then 8% on that is what.
Well, you're compounding, aren't you? So you're earning it, like you say, you're putting videos out every week.
Yeah.
You're putting like for example, for Wolf Supplements, putting stories on every day. Like you don't see the return on them stories.
Not instantaneously.
People
directly.
see it, and people want to see more, and like they get.
I think that's something that you've done really well, specifically with Wolf Supps. The way that you've been open about, you know, logistics problems and shit like that, just general, you know, that honesty and that brand relation, and people see that, and you know, it leads to a certain level of trust between customer and retailer, if you like.
Yeah, and I kind of, that's one thing about growing that I'm not enjoying, because I'm losing that a little bit. Obviously not. I can still keep in touch with a lot of my customers, but for the first like 100 customers,
you can be close and not have a conversation.
Literally email them and say like, how's it going? Like, how's the family? Which I enjoy doing, and obviously
I rate that. But the good thing is though, man, like those first 100, if you like, will always be the first 100, and you've already had those conversations that have laid those foundations, and people appreciate that. Even if, I don't know, 2 years down the line, you've got, rather than you're ordering like 200 tubs at a time, for example, it's 200,000. Then
wild.
like you just don't know. But those first 100 people, they've been there from the beginning, no matter what. Even if they don't buy your stuff anymore, they were still bought it from the beginning.
Yeah, and it's I feel like we were talking earlier about, you get those like typical businessmen who are just ruthless and like don't give a shit. And like I never want to be that. I don't want to be that guy. And I feel like the bigger you get, you perceive to be that guy, but like money grabber kind of. Yeah, like that. It's
how people choose to present themselves as well.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I said earlier, didn't I? Like those type of people should just do some mushrooms and just kill their ego, because it's just it's an ego thing.
Yeah.
I feel like
if everyone just did like 4 grams of psilocybin,
you don't look like you don't come across like the egotistical prick who is just bothered about money and like putting himself out there as a character. Like you are just chatting to the camera like it's you.
It's like
explaining how and why things have gone wrong. It's like I think it's good. People should take a leaf out of that book.
Hopefully so.
I think so anyway.
I've had comments about our YouTube videos saying, like, people who I've spoken to in person saying they enjoy watching them because it's just us. Like,
natural, like,
and also like questions like, how many takes does it take to do that? And I'm like,
right,
takes.
Okay. Just filming it off the cuff, man. Yeah,
it's one take.
Those two things come hand in hand.
Yeah.
Who was I talking to about this the other day? I was in the sauna at the gym, and
that's always a good place to have a
chat. People should bug saunas and like just turn that into a TV show, or like, do you know, like there used to be that thing where it was like animals talking to each other.
Yeah.
They should do that, but like based off sauna conversations. It'd be hilarious.
You know what? We could get bug
the shop
podcast. get a sauna set up, get people in. Just get little cameras. Obviously, yeah.
That'd be a bit more expensive than
get them to sign a document or something.
Yeah. No, that'd be. I wonder if there's got to be like sauna podcasts out there, man.
If you had Joe Rogan, get him just give him £1 million. Just set up a lot of rooms and just send a lot of men into the sauna.
Yeah.
Maybe get
Some
a few beers.
shit gets chat in the sauna, mate. But yeah, I was in the sauna. There's this guy who I've spoken to at the gym a few times, and he's called Dan. He's a devout Christian, and he's driving a van from Wakefield to Jerusalem as like a pilgrimage.
Jesus.
Kitting out the van and shit, and he's documenting it all on his YouTube channel. Mike was also involved in this conversation. Big Mike. Shout out Big Mike. I was chatting to him at the gym just before I came as well. Anyway, so me, Mike, Dan talking in the sauna. And they were asking me like the same question, like, when you film stuff, how long does it take? Like, do you do takes and whatever? It takes a certain level of confidence to be able to do it first time.
Yeah.
But once you surpass that point where you just know that you can confidently talk on a camera, I would say to anybody, don't like try and be perfect.
Facts.
Especially if you're making a video for YouTube. Like it's basically like a trial run anyway, you know what I mean? Nobody really gives a fuck unless you're actually like, yeah.
People like to see like, you don't want to watch a fucking robot talk about a gym like, oh yeah, that gym was great, man, like 100%, like 9 out of 10, like just the same shit. You want to see us just chat shit.
Even the facts, like when we've done the gym reviews, I mean, I've only been on one, but even the facts
that's mad. I thought you'd been on loads.
Yeah, that's it. It's because I've been in like the other 2 videos. Not having like a set. Some people might do a gym review series and have equipment, toilets, layout, music, all as one thing. We're just there chatting shit about, oh, guy behind the counter, he was proper sound.
But that's what people want to see.
Because it's raw and it's like...
It's raw, that's...
I don't know, maybe people don't want to see that, maybe people do want to see.
If you don't want to see that, then fuck off.
You're in the wrong place.
Ain't it, man?
You're in the wrong place.
Yeah, so...
I need to stop pushing chair against it.
Are we having problems?
Shout out to my mum as well for boxing the chairs.
Oh yeah, shout out. Quick shout out.
Yeah,
shout out to a lot of people, to be fair.
We could, man, but we'd be here all day, I reckon. If
shout out to you, man.
Shout out
making it possible, bro. Shout out to Tom Lindley.
Oh, I hope that camera's still coming.
I think it's gone off.
Oh well, if not, we've got 10 minutes worth of shit. I don't know. But yeah,
I feel like we're building something pretty fucking sick, man. Just sitting down here and talking about it, like,
for me, it's that, like, there's certain things where you can note like progress against, and the fact that we're here now doing podcast number 1, that's a huge point. I feel
it's a good step for us.
The ball is rolling now. Now that we've done it, we've set it up, we're gonna think, it might be good to have like a fixed position for X camera or what. And then,
like, I'm already seeing things now. Like,
so
that little kind of spot over here is kind of like the camera spot.
Yeah.
And you could have like a table here.
Yeah.
Lighting.
That's it.
That's all you need.
That's it, man. I think people do. I'm a victim of this. Victim of my own downfall for things like, being a perfectionist.
Right. Yeah.
And it's so easy to procrastinate.
It is.
And that's why with one of the key messages through mindsetMETA that we try and push is to actually do physical things to kind of reset your mental possibilities. Like, people who sit there all day just scrolling on TikTok, right? I can't do it, man. I re-downloaded TikTok for like a week. Yeah. My screen time went up to like 6.5 hours a day.
That's what mine's at.
but like, for me, mate, mine's normally like 3.5 hours is probably like a decent day.
Yeah.
I've had some days where it's been like 9 hours, and majority of that time has been where everything else in my life has been out of whack a little bit.
Right.
You know, like if like I've gone out, got drunk, woke up hungover the next day, eating shit. All these things like add up over time.
On your phone more.
Yeah, and as a result, it is as simple as your dopamine receptors in your brain.
Craving that.
Yeah, it's deregulated. Whereas normally you might get joy and fulfillment and dopamine out of doing a podcast.
This kind of stuff.
Or doing some work on your laptop towards your actual long-term goal. Your body then, because you've got all this good chemical from doing bad things, thinks, oh, it's easier to get it this way. Let's keep doing it this way because it's easy. That's, for me, like one of the best things I've ever learned. Like just that scratching the surface, like understanding how your brain works. Mate, I don't get why I wasn't taught this shit at school. That's the key thing for me.
Well, the world has changed very quickly. So we are the only generation to kind of grow up with that happening. So we didn't really know that going on your phone was bad. Like, we were kind of
thrown in at the deep end.
Raised to be on his phone, like Facebook, Snapchat. I mean, Twitter's probably not so much. But
tell me what you think. Like, from an outside perspective, obviously we didn't speak much at school, but I knew. This is weird, isn't it? Really, this. Right, so I knew through Facebook and such that you probably had a good experience at school for the most part. Yeah, because those social status, I don't know, like.
Yeah, you kind of...
You know, like you used to get a fair few likes on your profile pictures and shit like that. That's what I'm trying to say.
100 a couple of times.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, you were a popular guy in school, and that I gauged that genuinely just through being brought up through the same thing.
Which is strange.
By the fact that you had a few likes on your profile pictures.
Which is very strange.
Which is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, which is why I think kids are struggling at the minute. Depression through the roof. I think it's because everyone's after that instant like, that instant. Yeah. You feel like you need to share everything you're doing with other people, but it's never been like that. Like,
there's a fine balance in there. Like, man, I remember I've spoke about this on our podcast a few times, but like my first experience of any kind of thing that I would even be able to closely call bullying. I never had a shit time with people like taking the piss out of me, apart from one time, and it was through Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I remember how shit that felt. I could only imagine how it felt for kids, how it feels for kids who feel like they're nobody just because they maybe don't have Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, definitely, man. It'd be rough not having, even as adults that we are now, which is crazy to say. Like, it'd be weird without Instagram. Like, you wouldn't know what we're going on.
Would, man. So, do you ever get that craving to just like, obviously you're further deep.
Delete everything.
Yeah, you're
deep. Man.
Yeah.
I've deleted. I think I delete Snapchat quite regularly.
Yeah, Snapchat.
Twitter I enjoy because I feel like you don't get as much dopamine. Let's say through Twitter. I feel like you learn things and you can give quite a lot of good information on Twitter.
Yeah, you've been quite active on Twitter, haven't you? Like,
I actually got rid of my personal account. All I'd use my personal account for is to retweet Wolf Supps stuff. But I've got another account that just talks about fitness and finance basically. Yeah. And that started in lockdown.
What's that? Is that
Tom Fit Finance?
Tom Fit Finance.
A little plug.
Nice.
So that's just talking about finance, fitness, money, everything in life. And the people that I follow on there, I think I follow about 190 people or something compared to my other account, which were like 700. So I get no nonsense on there. Like,
this is something that I try and tell people who I feel like could benefit from it. I used to follow like nearly 1,000 people on Instagram in lockdown 2020 when shit got weird. Yeah. I went through a stage where I just culled so many people.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was not actually. I didn't actually kill people, like, but I actually just yeah, man. Like, I think now my Instagram's at like I follow 250 people, but of those 250 people, I've muted so many stories and posts and shit because these people aren't doing anything wrong to me. They're nice people who...
You just don't care, like...
Yeah, I just don't really give a fuck.
And
like,
you shouldn't.
No,
you shouldn't feel bad for saying that. Like,
it's not a crime to stay in touch or stay in contact with someone via following them mutually. But that doesn't mean that every day you have to see what they're up to.
Yeah.
Like, if they walk the fucking dog. What?
I've gone through that recently. I've been... So I'll be on Instagram, like, scrolling, and I'll see someone, I'll just think to myself, why?
Why?
Do I want to see that? And I'll know this person. Like, they'll if we saw each other, we'd probably say hi.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, I'm unfollowing this shit.
Yeah,
like, I can't see it. And I think if they saw that I'd unfollowed them, they'd probably take offense to that and think, like, why has Tom Wolf
It's happened to me, man. With one of my brother's mates.
Oh, really?
I unfollowed him because all he used to do was post pictures going out on the piss. And I'm there, I'm like, you've never done anything wrong to me. You're a nice enough bloke. I just don't care.
Yeah, so I've...
Like, about what you're doing when you're going out and getting pissed. So
yeah.
I unfollowed him. Next time I saw him, he goes, why? He was pissed up, obviously. He's like, why have you unfollowed me on Instagram?
Yeah, it's like...
Bro, it's not that deep. You're here, aren't you? Like,
that's it. Yeah. Like, if someone unfollows me, I don't give a... Like,
yeah. Maybe to him saying that to me also wasn't that deep.
Probably wasn't deep.
But it's just... some people would say it that way. Like.
I feel like people... Like, the few that I've unfollowed recently, because I've taken mental note of unfollowing them, and I feel like they are maybe the type of people to think that I fucking hate them now. Do you know what I mean?
Come back with a vengeance.
But I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't want to see... I want to see people that... if I'm scrolling, like, I want it to be quality. I want it to be people that I care about. Like, I don't want to see fucking someone that I knew from school,
that's
like,
it, man. You've got
7 years ago or some shit.
And that comes down to people having the priorities straight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not claiming that my priorities are perfect, but part of being a good human being is constantly checking yourself to make sure that your priorities are in check, you know?
I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect human being, but obviously we're just doing shit that makes us feel good. And we've realised the shit that doesn't make us feel good and try to cut that out. Yeah. To some people... it's fine, like, they don't care. Like, some people can go out on the piss on a Friday and Saturday, wake up on a Sunday, feel fine, and they're just like, it doesn't,
ready to go again.
And fair play, because they've gone out and enjoyed. If they get enjoyment out of that, then I think fair fucks. Like,
for
me, like,
there's no animosity towards it. Like, you know, if I could do that myself and wake up and not hate myself, I'm not hate. Yeah, sometimes I wake up after going out and I think, you're just stupid. Like, what did you get from that?
What did you say? What did you do? It's like,
I don't know. Maybe that's me being a bit of a health hypochondriac. You know,
I don't think so, man. I just think
but
I get what you're saying.
Sometimes it's
I just think I think people should do what they enjoy. What makes them happy. Because I've got mates who...
And also, to add on to that, let other people do that as well.
In it, yeah. Like, I've got mates who probably think, like, doing a podcast is stupid. I've also got mates who think it's a fucking sick idea. I've got mates who are into the gym. I've got mates who like playing golf.
Do you reckon you have got mates who think doing a podcast is stupid? Genuinely?
I wouldn't... No, I ain't got mates that would think that I'm stupid for doing a podcast, but I might have mates that would think, like, why do a podcast? Like, what are you getting out of it? Maybe so. But
I feel like everybody that I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being sheltered here by friendship. Like, you know, like friends not telling me the truth or whatever.
Yeah, I get that.
I doubt it. Everybody that I've spoken to about, like, doing a podcast
thinks it's a good idea.
Everybody's like, when you're getting guests on, and that's part of the reason why I jumped at the opportunity to do this.
Well, maybe I'm being
because people just want to do it, and it's good, isn't it?
Cool,
like,
man.
it feels good.
It's just nice to get, like, get your thoughts out and like,
yeah.
And obviously people will hopefully take something from it as well. I mean, we are no like
guru.
Yeah, do not listen to our advice.
No.
We're just two little fucking skinny men trying to get swole.
Two lads who are on the pursuit of gains.
We're just like enjoying it, man. Yeah. And I feel like more that we do this, the better we'll get at it, and
definitely
we'll be able to get some good guests on, which
that's
will be pretty cool because we will learn from that. Like
100%, bro, 100%.
It's just how long until Ronnie's on here because
I know, man. Like we should we should think like who would be a dream guest. Like obviously you've already thrown that name out there, but like,
a dream guest, not Ronnie Coleman, because
I feel like for you, Chris Guzman.
Oh, Guzman. Yeah. I take a lot of motivation from watching his stuff.
I've noticed, man. I still haven't really like dived into his shit like at all.
Well, for me, like when I started the gym, I was watching like Alpha Elite, watching Christian Guzman, watching Max Tuning. Them two mainly, but Guzman, every time he did a summer shred, I'd admire the fact that he put himself through a bodybuilding prep. And people crumble on bodybuilding preps. But he would do that whilst building a fucking... what he's built now is insane. But at the time he was building a business, he'd go like 4 days without sleep. And me watching that, I was like, I couldn't do that.
No, you don't need to do that.
No, you don't.
But he did it.
It's motivation.
It's like David Goggins, mate. Like
you see that.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't take
throw
motivation from that guy. I think fucking shut up.
He's a bit.
Do you like
no, see, I'm just using him as an example of one of those people who does the things that you don't need to do because he's the guy that's doing it.
Go hard.
Yeah.
What's he say?
Stay hard.
Stay hard. I've just run fucking 100 miles.
Yeah, he's
on barefoot.
He's people like that are fucking lunatics for the most part.
Yeah.
But they push the boundaries, and the reason they push the boundaries is to show people that you thinking that you want to start a business is a huge thing. It's not that big of a deal. It's nothing, man. We're all just apes on this rock floating around another giant ball of burning gas in the middle of trillions of other.
No one we're like so minuscule.
Yeah,
it's
in another universe.
Yeah.
We're sat on the other side of this table. I'm wearing that hoodie. You're wearing a black t-shirt.
Shut up. Genuinely though, like
just 25 people just turned off there.
If you turn it off of that,
that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Stay turned off, man.
Yeah,
psychedelic shit. Yeah. Genuinely though, like it is crazy, like how irrelevant and minuscule we are. Like no one gives a fuck.
That's part of the reason why that realization of something like that is what inspired me to start doing my own shit. Yeah,
bro. With the mindsetMETA, like, two young lads going and doing that. Like, if you'd have told me to do that in school or like college, I'd have been like, oh my, no. Yeah. What are people gonna say? Like, people are gonna think I'm a right twat.
I was so self-conscious at school, man.
Yeah.
I used to stress like if my hair wasn't right before going to school, like if I had I'm
joking.
No, you're right, man. That's part of the reason why I've decided to grow my hair, because to like spite my younger self, be like, why did you give such a fuck about what your hair looked like? Yeah. Nobody cares, like, realistically. But it was all part of that social status thing, thinking it was so important to look good. And to an extent, it is important to present yourself in a good way. But I feel like there is a fine line between taking pride in your appearance and then the anxiety that comes along with feeling the pressure that isn't actually there. Like,
it's hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
But like, fair play for you doing the YouTube, because, like I say, I mean, we're doing it now, but I don't know. I just feel like a couple of years ago, even I might have been like, when you started, I might have been like, well, I couldn't do that.
Like, I posted my first YouTube video when I was 14, and it was maybe I was 13. I was younger.
Right, montage on COD.
No, I'd probably done better if it was. Definitely, I was pretty sick at COD back in the day. Like, But no, it was a video of me and 2 of my friends in my friend's bedroom playing music, playing a guitar. I was playing guitar, the other one was playing drums, and the other one was on the keyboard. And it was just like, this is weird, because we went on a website and we said random band name generator.
Yeah.
And the name that came up was Moose Juice.
What?
Now, Moose Juice is
it's now a thing.
Flash forward to 2020, deciding on a name for what I was doing with
mindsetMETA.
Chose the name Meta. A year later, Facebook changes the name to fucking Meta. It's weird, isn't it? That? Yeah, but
your phone's tapped or some shit.
I know. Don't even start, man. Don't even start. I've had too many paranoid journeys when I've been smoking weed and getting in a rut. Like, I remember once I turned all my settings off. So, like,
shut up. What, whilst you were stoned?
Yeah. Like turning off so that, like, I can't screen record and shit like that because I've changed the setting on my phone and I don't know how to turn it back. Yeah.
I mean, I get to an extent, but
that's like that was all brought on because of my questioning the narrative when it came to all the COVID stuff.
Oh yeah, I feel like
genuinely it made me think, well, what if this isn't what I think it is, then what about
is everything
this?
else?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not recommending to anybody to do that.
No.
Let me just be clear.
With the COVID stuff's obviously thrown a lot of shit. Like, a lot of people are thinking some wild shit. I mean, I had someone in shop earlier, like, conspiracy theorists, like, talking. Yeah. I won't say shit, because you don't know. Like, you can't say shit, but a lot of
but still digging,
wild
still digging in that sense. Yeah.
And for me, like, I'm not. I don't know. Like, I'm open-minded to it, so I don't think COVID's fake and all this shit. Like, obviously it's a real.
I went through mega, like, motions with all that.
Yeah.
I went through the stage of when it first happened. I was thinking everybody's gonna die because I was looking into like these virologists that were going on Joe Rogan's podcast and talking about how, the chances of everybody dying or whatever, which is like scaremongering in itself, which is bizarre to have come from Rogan, because now it's flipped entirely, especially from his platform. I feel
it's a weird one because, like, if there was a deadly virus that came out next week, a lot of people, including myself, would probably be like, "Oh, fuck it, what a load of shit!" Like,
because
I'm off out in Leeds.
Wouldn't ever normally go out in Leeds, but.
Just to say fuck the new virus.
Yeah, I'm off to Manhattan
because after having COVID twice, I now obviously it's more deadly than the normal virus. Yeah, obviously people have died from it. So, but it's obviously not what it was at the start when people were saying like, it's gonna kill everyone.
I think that's the thing, man. It was just. I feel it's fair to say in hindsight, for the most part, it was blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like
we're on a COVID.
We're on a tangent there. Yeah.
COVID tangent is never a good move.
I feel like we've spoken about it briefly before. Yeah, start some beef, man.
But yeah, I feel like all people who are vulnerable, definitely it's a dangerous thing. But for people like ourselves who take pride in health, we keep setting good nick for that reason. Like, so we can
protect
fight viruses. Like, we don't worry about it.
No.
Like, say if a virus came out next week and it were like, fuck, it could actually kill you, then
that's it.
We've probably...
Like the prison protocol of, like, you're allowed out of your house for 1 hour a day to exercise.
That's what turned me, like...
Yeah, me too, man.
I was pissed off.
If it's a respiratory virus, why do you tell people, push a narrative to say, do cardio?
Get in the gym.
Go to the gym.
Lose weight.
Yeah. We're shutting all the pubs because pubs are bad for your health. For physical health in terms of drinking and whatever. But we're going to keep the gyms open because we want to encourage a healthy lifestyle. that didn't happen. It's like,
weird to think.
And the opposite happened, and they started encouraging people to go back out drinking by like the two.
It's really skewed. But the guys who are obviously in power, like politically, it's just fucking.
There's so many. I feel like I've learned so much from all that time.
I've learned that from going forward, I will probably never support, like, put my name on a party and be like, that I'm going to vote for them. Whereas before, I had that. I was like,
you were a bit
for life. I'll probably vote for this party.
Oh, really?
Whereas now, I'm probably not even going to vote, because I just think it's all just fucking lies, and it's all just for PR anyway. So.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's. I heard on I was listening to another podcast yesterday, actually, and this is quite an interesting topic for discussion. So, have you ever heard about these like farms? They call them farms, but it's basically like Twitter bots. Like fake Twitter accounts that are made to look real,
to push a narrative.
Yeah, but like from Russia, to push a narrative against America, for example.
Yeah.
To try and influence political situations. What if we're a victim of being pushed a narrative to make us think or disbelieve in our own political system, to lead to the crumble of society as we know it?
Jeez. Yeah, you're right. Because
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because a lot of people have lost faith in
if the other side's possible, as in what we were saying about getting pushed a narrative from the government, which has led to us disbelieving in the government, why can't it not be pushed from the other way as well?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're on a ticking time bomb at the minute. Like,
deep.
Financially, the richer are getting richer, the poorer are getting poorer. I don't even I hate walking about in like the cities of England now. Like, it's just like at the minute it's a horrible place. When I went to Porto the other week, it just felt so safe. It's weird to say. I
can vouch for that. Like, specifically when I went to Sweden, I think Stockholm is one of the highest GDP per capita cities in the world.
Yeah,
you can tell.
It's just happiness.
It's just nice. Like, everybody is nice.
Yeah,
but. Yeah,
like when you walk through Leeds or Wakefield, you get people probably shouting shit at you. You get drunk people everywhere. People that look, they're off their heads. It's just,
obviously we've grown up in Wakefield, which is like, as far as it goes, it's not known to be a particularly great place in terms of.
I mean,
it's not the richest place in the world. Like, where we're located is good. We like being close to Leeds, close to Manchester. Basically, literally like smack bang in the middle of the country. That's good. But it's like the biggest city in the UK without a football team. I know there's like Wakey AFC or whatever, but they're in like what fucking...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What are they in, like?
So would you want to, like, when you're older, are you wanting to move out of Wakey, or are you quite happy?
I don't know. I'd want to move out of Wakefield because
the
world.
Yeah.
I want to move out, see the world, because the world's too big for me to stay here my whole life. But there is something about doing something for your hometown. I feel
there's something about home. Like, I feel like you need a base. Like, you see all these guys, e-commerce guys, like traveling the world with laptop lifestyle, whatever, making the money on the laptop.
Yeah.
But how can you really sustain that for your life? I doubt it, because you're not gonna want a wife, are you not gonna want kids?
Yeah.
You're not gonna want to raise a family, and if you're moving, you can't move around. So
it's a sacrifice, isn't it? Like, you're sacrificing those home comforts for novel experience, new places, and
like, people glorify that laptop lifestyle, and I get why, and we probably are envious of that, but
in some respects, but it's also like I feel like you were just going to get onto the point of it's not a bad thing to stay where you are.
No,
there is a lot to be said about, taking pride in where you're from and making the most of that.
It's easy to think the grass is always greener. Like you see, for example, like someone who's living the laptop lifestyle, moving around, like they're making their income whilst moving around, but they don't see the family like ever. They can't get a girlfriend or a wife and kids because how can they? Like they're moving around.
They're not, they're not in a stable situation to be.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's glorified, and the kind of people who pursue that are probably willing to take those things as over the rest. Or maybe come back to it later on. Like
I see the attraction to living somewhere with sun and sea. Like if this place was next to a beach and it was sunny, that I feel like I'd be 10 times happier. Like genuinely.
But also like you've got to think, we don't live in a place like that. So if we did, like from being born, you'd be in the same position that you're in now. Like you'd wake up, instead of waking up and be like, oh, it's another grey day, you'd wake up and you think, oh, it's another sunny day.
Can't wait for some rain.
Then
windscreen wipers have been used.
That's it. Like cars bare dusty and fucking
shit.
hot.
It's warm weather.
I
just want to go to sleep in peace, man.
Just want some rain, me.
It's one of them for me. Every time I go on a holiday, I think I'm like, oh, I wish I just lived like somewhere sunny. But then again, like when we're doing stuff like this, and when I'm speaking to customers in the shop, it just feels good.
Yeah,
like
you've got the sun upstairs anyway.
Sunbeds. I suppose.
Where would you say is like the best place you've ever been away?
Oh, that's a tough question, man. I've never really been anywhere like
far.
I've never been anywhere. Furthest I've been is Tunisia with my parents.
How far is that? Like 4-hour flight or?
I was too young to remember.
Oh, really? Right, fair enough.
Porto were nice that I went the other week. I loved it there. I love Amsterdam. I think Amsterdam's a mint city.
Amsterdam's a great city for obvious reasons, like just the liberal,
I feel like Amsterdam's cool, innit? I like anywhere with sun, me. So like even Spain, like probably anywhere in Spain.
I've thought about moving to Spain.
Spain's a good one because you're like a 2-hour
flight. It's not too far.
Whereas if you go to Australia, you're obviously like other side of the
world, man.
What about you, man?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to see a fair few places, like some further afield, some slightly. Like the best in terms of the entire experience for me was Thailand, but that's simply because like it was my first time going on holiday with my mates. I was 18, like we went for like 3 weeks, so it was just the whole thing was like we couldn't believe every single day. We were like, we're still here then. But obviously, like the way that your brain works, you always look for good memories.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to pull the bad memories out because your brain puts them to one side. There were times on that holiday where I wanted to beat the shit out of both the lads that I was like, I wanted to kill them both at some points. But that's just part of it. The fact that it wasn't easy the whole time, that adds to the whole thing. But people there just love. I found this like probably 80% of the places. This is a very specific number. Like 80% of the places that I've ever been, people love English people, and they're so happy to have you there. Like Thailand, they loved us. Like Sweden, Switzerland, like Morocco, like all these countries. When you say that you're from England, they're like, like you seem right gassed about it. I don't know if it's just because of the tourism, but
maybe so.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Spanish people might hate us though.
Spanish, I feel like Brits abroad in Spain. It's like we took over their coastlines, man.
Yeah,
fully hijacked that shit.
French people might not be too.
Yeah, but French people are very like.
No,
see, my sister, my sister lives in Paris. Like she's been immersed in that culture now since September. God, yeah, last year.
Yeah, wow. It's never a place that I've really wanted to go. France.
No,
I've never been bothered.
Like, no, not particularly.
It's the food. I feel like it's not that great. I feel like weather's not that. I mean, it's all right weather, isn't it? In some places, obviously south of France. But
yeah, maybe we're just not seeing the right places in France.
Yeah, I feel like when you see Paris,
yeah,
it just nothing appeals.
Yeah,
to me about Paris.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but it'd probably be a sick place. When
you go there. Like when you've seen so many cities, they all start to feel very similar, especially in Europe. There's certain ones that are different, and obviously everywhere's different, but there's certain ones that are significantly different.
Yeah,
I feel like Paris, because it's such a name, you know, like it's such a
that's why I'm probably not attracted to it, like the touristy element of it.
It's too mainstream.
Maybe so.
Yeah,
maybe so. But yeah, like
well, you were close to going to Oz.
Yeah,
like,
so
that's an important thing I feel like to address.
Obviously,
maybe not.
Me and a good friend, Pat. So we booked flights, from Manchester to Bangkok, and then we were going to do 3 months around. Why are you laughing at, you fuck? Anyway, so we're going to do 3 months.
I'll tell you.
Tell me now.
No, I can't tell you now. I'll tell you after.
What is it? Fucking something on my head or something? All right.
Nah, fucking carry on. Sorry. You and Pat,
little bastard.
We're gonna go.
So we're gonna do. So to Bangkok, then we're gonna do 3 months around Southeast Asia, so Cambodia, Laos, Thailand. I'm missing.
That was funny what that guy said about Cambodia. Oh no, what you said about
Vietnam.
Cambodia today.
Oh yeah, so I was telling this guy, I was like, so I was telling him basically that it's eating me up a bit that I didn't get to do that. Yeah. And I mentioned to you that I'm going to go to Vietnam in December.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to tick these places off. So like, oh well, I've got Vietnam booked, and I'm wanting to go to Cambodia like probably next. And he's like, oh, hey, well, like, I won't go there, mate. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, you can go to these shooting ranges, and you give someone.
He said 1,000, yeah.
And they'll pull up in a car with a person with a thingy over his head, whatever.
And you can shoot.
And you can shoot your chosen weapon at
That's so it's
fucked.
Surely that's not true, but like,
bro,
you just don't know, do you? I
just said to him, I was like, yeah, fuck, I don't know about Cambodia. But you hear that shit everywhere.
Yeah,
like, yeah. I mean, me and Pat were like, I were looking forward to Laos, probably.
Well,
go on.
I was going to say, when we went to Thailand, we were told, like, just be careful because you can get scammed, you know, like the try scam tourists because you're in a foreign land, like you're young lads. They know you're British, so you've got money. So they're like, just be careful. We'd done research on like how to avoid getting scammed, but how to look for a scam. We still got scammed.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Bro, I'm hoping you'd say there's no scammers in Thailand.
We got fucking scammed.
Scammed?
Oh, man. So we went to... we were like,
on a jet ski or some shit.
No. It was worse. So we were in Bangkok, and for some reason we'd chosen to stay on Koh San Road, which is like, well, we chose to stay there because it's like the party
like
place.
Chaos road.
It's like chaos on that road.
Yeah, of course.
But that means that you're most likely in a hotel that's next to a nightclub, and all you hear all night is banging on your wall from speakers. You've got like no sleep. Woke up like, I think it was literally day 2. So we'd got to Bangkok, gone out on Koh San Road, had no sleep, woke up the next day, we were like, let's see some sights. We'll get a tuk-tuk, give this guy like 20p for the day to drive us around. It's so cheap. I think it worked out at like £3 for him to drive us around for the day. Yeah. But he got paid all right in the end, and I'll explain why. Right. So this is part of the scam. What they do, these tuk-tuk drivers, they take you to specific tourist locations where their mates are, right? So they take you. He goes, oh, do you want to go see this temple? Yeah. Do you want to see this temple? It's only open one day of the year, and it's today. And we're like, yeah, we're going to that temple. Yeah. It's open one day. Obviously, it's open every single day. Anyway, we got to this temple. This guy's there, and he's like, oh, you need to... This random Thai guy just comes up and starts talking to us, speaks brilliant English.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you need to go to the suit shop, and have a look at the Thai silk suits.
Right.
So we leave that conversation none the wiser. We're like, let's go to a suit shop.
Like, why the fuck would you ever do that?
Why would we do that? Yeah, stupid. I know. Anyway, tuk-tuk driver takes us to the suit shop. We're walking around the suit shop and they're like, we come in and then there's like a guy who's like blocking the door for us to get out and they're trying to proper persuade us to buy shit. We're like,
why the fuck would you want a suit?
Yeah, we're like, we're not going to buy like a suit. What's this about? Anyway, after that, we were like, right, we need to book our travel, like how we're going to get around the country. We need to go to a tourist information. Said to the tuk-tuk driver, take us to like tourist information, the official place. Takes us to this place. It's on like a bit of a back alley, but it's opposite a police station. So we're thinking, oh, it must be legit this. We got down, we sat there talking to this guy. He told us his name was Alex, right? He was Thai. Definitely wasn't called Alex. Then we started telling him about the places we want to go see and all this shit. And he's like, yeah, I think you should go here for this amount of days, go there for that amount of days, get a bus here.
So it seemed pretty genuine.
Pretty genuine. It was very helpful, to be fair.
Right. Oh, so this guy wanted in on it.
So we say to Alex, right, yeah, we'll do that. How much is it going to be? He tells us the price, and it works out at about 250 quid each.
Right.
Now, for 3 weeks, and for the amount of transport we were going to get, all these buses, all these boats and trains and shit, we're there, British, we're like, that's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, normally you'd pay this. You could have done it for probably a third of the price. Right?
Yeah.
We were just like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was the only one who had my card on me. I paid. He gives me the thing, and it says no refunds. I'm like, you didn't tell me there's no refunds. Then we start kicking off because on the bottom of the receipt, the like ticket thing, it says fax 2004. I'm like, bro, these tickets aren't even real. So we all start panicking. Lawrence and Ryan went back to the hotel to get their money. While they were gone, me and James realised that this shit was like dodgy. So I rung them. I was like, don't get your money.
Right.
This isn't right. We're going to try and get a refund, whatever. Anyway, we told this Alex guy, we were like, bro, this isn't right. Which led to him threatening to get the police from over the road to come and beat us up.
Oh, dear.
And yeah, we basically all had to pay 250 quid each, which definitely filled the pocket of the tuk-tuk driver, the guy at the fucking monastery that was open one day a week, the guy that's at the suit shop, definitely paid for their wage for a week.
Yeah.
Luckily, in the end, the tickets were legit, but we just paid like we went to another tourist information afterwards.
Paid over there,
and we paid like 3 times what it was actually worth. So yeah,
you look the fuck
learned from that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were gonna go to sorry, mate. I've interjected with a massive story there.
I like that. So yeah. Anyway, the biggest worry for me were fucking like tigers in Laos. Like
tigers,
for whatever reason, I was dreaming about it and having nightmares about it.
About tigers?
I hate tigers. Like
you hate tigers?
No, I hate the thought of seeing a tiger in the wild. Like
they're scary
because
bro.
You're fucked.
They're the biggest.
I feel like an alligator. Like you're all right. Like you just hold a piece of wood out, it'll bite it. But if you see a tiger, man, you're so fucked. Like so anyway, that were a big worry.
Bro, have you ever heard Mike Tyson talk about living with tigers?
I've heard, yeah. But he says like
he used to sleep with them in his bed.
They were scared of him, weren't they?
Yeah. He said like he had to make sure that he was like alpha male and shit. But they were sleeping in his bed and shit. Crazy.
He's another level of human.
Unbelievable guy. Like he's lived 1,000 lives. That guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's weird how like calm he is, but at the same time
messed up.
So imagine sitting next to him.
That's because he smokes weed 24/7.
But imagine sitting next to him, like speaking to him, like I'd be so anxious, like because you don't know what you could say.
Did you see him beat that guy up on the plane? Kind of
I think fair enough for that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
That guy looked like he was winding him up. So
like a twat, that guy.
You wind Mike Tyson up,
you're gonna get smacked.
So yeah, like he's a character, man. Pretty cool character.
Yeah. But you were scared of tigers.
I was scared of tigers anyway. So yeah, so we're gonna do all them countries then. fly to Singapore, and then fly to Oz. And then it were a one-way ticket. So in my head, I was thinking,
you never know.
I might just
stay there
because just for a few years. My cousin's there at the minute, and he's stayed for 3 years now. So,
man.
But it didn't come off COVID. Put it back a year. Rebooked it again. COVID again. Rebooked it again. So rebooked it 3
Australia's
times.
travel restrictions.
Oh, you've no chance.
Yeah, they weren't letting anybody in for a long time, were they?
So at this point, obviously, me and Pat were. It's like 2 years has gone by and we're not really getting anywhere in life because we're both working part-time.
Put it on hold for...
We put his life on hold. We're saving money, which was the best thing about it. Like we worked out that we'd need 10 grand. So we wanted to have like 3 grand for Asia, maybe $1 grand for like Singapore, Bali. Yeah. And then obviously the rest we'd spend in Oz. So we saved money, which is why Wolf Supps, which is how Wolf Supps could have been started because... Without the money to invest, like it wouldn't have existed.
So in many ways, you've got COVID to thank for
COVID to thank, but at the same time, like I said to you, like
it's a stone that's been left unturned.
It's eating at me a bit. I want to experience it, but I can't experience it how I would want to, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because I've got a girlfriend now, I wouldn't want to leave her for more than a couple of weeks at a time. This place, like, obviously I've got businesses to run.
It's all part of that sacrifice, man. You'll have the itch and it won't go away until it's scratched. But when it comes to being able to scratch it because of the sacrifices that you've made,
hopefully
it will be.
That's just a bit of advice to like younger people now after COVID. If you're in that age group where you've just finished uni and you don't have a full-time job yet, save a bit of money. If you want to travel, just do it. Just go and do it, because once you get jobs, once you get businesses, girlfriends, kids, it becomes a lot harder.
Unless you're in a privileged position whereby you've absolutely grinded your ass off. Like, for example, if you go to uni, unless you're in this privileged position where you've either grinded your ass off or you've got parents there to fund it, going to uni and then going traveling, for a lot of people might go to uni and be like, I'll travel after.
Yeah, I get that.
For a lot of people, like, that might seem like a viable option before, but then when you go to uni and you come out, you're starting from scratch pretty much.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
You need to be saving money whilst you're there, ideally. Obviously, if you get a part-time job, you can save. But advice to young people, like, don't get caught up in all this shit. Like, if you have an itch to go and travel, and just fuck it off for 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in thinking, I need to get a job, or I need to start a business because everyone else is doing so well. Like, nah, man. Like, go and live life, bro.
That's what I would say to my 18-year-old self if I could go back.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at how things have turned out. However, at the time, I didn't know what to do.
Me
so
too.
I just decided to. I didn't completely go with the crowd in terms of going to uni, but I thought, right,
and I did.
I was like, right, I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna earn some money until I work out what I want to do, and at least at that point, I'll have money to
do what you want to do.
To do what I want to do. Time goes by, you get another job.
You've travelled though, man.
I've travelled. I've lived by myself for 18 months, which is where a lot of my money went, because I wasn't earning enough to be living where I was. I was living by my means, like, which, I gained a lot of life experience from that, but financially it did shag me for a while. But here we are now, mate, and
it's one of them, man. It's like I say, like, when you're young, at 18, definitely don't get pressured into going to uni. Yeah, I went to uni, did 3 years on a finance degree. That degree has literally no carryover to life now. Like, it's the most pointless shit I've ever done. If I'd have used that 3 years to travel, I wouldn't have this itch now. Like, that'd have been done.
So, where did you go to uni?
Leeds Beckett.
So did you live at home whilst you were?
Lived at home, yeah. I was going to go to Leeds Uni, but I needed 2 A's and a B. I got 2 A's and a C, so But in hindsight, man, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? Yeah, it's,
at the time I was gutted. I was
and so you've got a finance degree.
I've got a degree. I've got 2-1, but
solid.
I'd never want to have to use it.
No,
because that life isn't for me. Like,
do you not feel like any of that? Like, because when you think about, right, so this is what a lot of people do, is they will be like, oh, one day I want to own my own business, so I'm going to go to uni and I'm going to do a business degree.
Do it.
Start your business. But doing finance, at least, like, surely you've got some carryover, like understanding
maybe
finance,
maybe slightly,
to apply to the business that you are running.
I'd say in a 3-year finance degree, you probably learn more in 2 months of actual running your own business. Like, actually, when you get in sales, like you learn more in 2 months probably than 3 years. Like,
because you have to.
Yeah,
as well.
You'd like, there's no option. You do it, or you get fined.
Yeah.
Tax man don't mess about. But so
I suppose it just speaks volumes about the options that are actually out there for people to do what they want to do.
Yeah, and for the younger people listening, I know there's quite a lot of like 18, 19-year-olds who follow Wolf Supps and use the products. I think just do not be pressured into doing something. Like, I felt like I had to go to uni because I'd probably like you, didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. And that's something at the time, right? I did get told at the time, like, by parents and relatives, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was that age either. But for whatever reason, that didn't mean anything to me. Because in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, but all my friends know that they want to go to uni. Why don't I know?
Like, my mates have had that. Like, I've got a couple of good mates who had like a clear vision, like go to uni, get out of uni, get a good graduate job, and just keep working up that ladder. And they had that vision, and they're pursuing that now. They're doing really well with it. But for me, I never wanted to do that. I knew that, like, my mind works where I like having 10 things on the go, and I like being scattered. I like scattering about different shit. Like, 1 minute serving customers, next minute printing orders.
Yeah, I get you.
Next minute on Instagram, next minute making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I couldn't be like
tied to a desk.
9 while 5, do this fucking task and do it every day. I'd be like, oh man. And some people can, some people are really good at it.
Yeah.
Like data analysts, shit
Fair
like
play
that.
to them, man.
But yeah, man, fuck.
Yeah.
For me, no.
Obviously, we're probably preaching to the converted, maybe. Like, people who are listening, there's probably a lot of people who are of the same understanding, but
yeah, just do what
I don't know.
Do whatever you feel is right.
Like, yeah, and key thing, like you said, for the younger people, if you don't know, you don't have to. Like, you don't have to know. Don't stress about it. Just, there are simple things that you can do, but at the time, it seems like easier to avoid. Turning those stones in your mind as an 18-year-old lad, to ask yourself the difficult questions like, why don't I want to do this? Why might I want to do that? And but that'll come with time. It comes with time, doesn't it? Like,
well, what's annoying for me
we're still so young, mate. Like, we're 22, 23. You 23?
23.
Yeah.
But like,
so young, really.
Yeah. What is annoying for me, like, bro, I was pretty certain by 18, 19 that I wanted to go down this route. Yet I still pursued uni. Still even after uni, I was like, I'm going to get a job in finance. But I knew that I wanted to do this. Which, it's not that, like, a lot of people don't know what they want to do, but I knew deep down that my passion was supplements, which is mad. Like, because I watched a lot of Christian Guzman. He was making clothes, and I don't really want to make clothes, but I've always had an entrepreneurial mind. Like, I've always wanted to buy shit and sell shit. Simply.
No, that's good.
But yeah, it's crazy how your path just kind of works itself out when you start taking steps in the right direction.
Yeah, and that brings us back to something that we said earlier on in the podcast, which is take action.
Do the first thing, man.
Yeah. Don't sit there and let your files get dusty if you're doing it. Like, you may as well keep going with it.
Even if it takes you like 6 months to get a few, like, I mean, this carpet in here, for example, took us a few weeks to get down. It took us a while to rag all this crap out, but we'd take even one step a week, and look, now we've got
we're here.
We've got a little setup. And it's like if we hadn't taken the first step, we'd still be talking about it.
That's it, man. So
it's been a good journey, man.
It has.
I feel like we could
probably wrap it up.
Wrap it up, yeah.
We solid hour and 16ish.
Is that how long it's been?
Yeah.
Shit.
I remember you texted me earlier saying I don't want to be here much after 8:30.
What time is it?
8:42.
Oh shit! I'm happy, man. Though I think now we've got a good vision. I feel like we could actually make this work.
100%. So to everybody watching, what you want to say? Man?
Thank you for watching. I suppose. And
thank you.
Yeah, Wolf Pump is now live. Wolf Juice is out of stock again, which is fucking shit.
It's a good problem to have in some respects.
It's a good problem, but it's annoying because you want people out there. You want to give those people the products, mate. I want people But Wolf Pump is out,
and I can vouch it's pretty fucking sick. So
if you want some sick pumps, give yourself a caffeine break. If you've run out of Wolf Juice, you're obviously not going to be able to buy anymore. Buy some Wolf Pump. Give yourself a month on that, and then hopefully we'll have some juice back in.
Yeah.
But it's been a good poddy, man.
Thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you can take something away from that, and we'll do one of these again in the near future, I guess.
Yep,
maybe.
Signing
sick.
Off.
Nice one. Like, comment, subscribe.